Please welcome Corporate Vice President, U.S. Financial Services, Microsoft, Karen Del Vescovo.
Thank you for that warm welcome. I'm supposed to be welcoming you, so I appreciate that. It's great to be here, as they mentioned. My name is Karen Del Vescovo, and I am our Corporate Vice President for our U.S. Financial Services business. I'm really excited for an amazing day together to share the revolutionary ways that AI is transforming businesses across industries. How many of you were here last year? Show of hands? I see some of you. Well, it's amazing to think that just within a year, and we did this about a year ago now, we've seen tremendous use and adoption of our AI technologies to enrich employee experiences, to reshape business processes, to reinvent customer engagement, and to bend the curve on innovation. Just 16 months ago, we launched M365 Copilot, and now nearly 70% of the Fortune 500 companies are using it to improve the employee engagement and experience. One of the first generative AI workloads, GitHub Copilot, is helping to increase developer productivity in nearly 69% of the U.S. financial services organizations. And we've released Copilots across our applications, and they've quickly become the UI for AI. And with Copilot Studio, you can easily build agents as the AI interface for improving your business processes. Beyond Copilots and agents, we're also seeing the rapid use and adoption of our Azure AI platform, with over 1,800 models, both open source, proprietary, large language models, small language models, and even industry-oriented models. We have a model for just about every business use case. Azure AI Foundry offers a one-stop toolchain to help you bend the curve on innovation as you create and build AI applications for your organization. And of course, and maybe I arguably should have started with this, security, compliance, data governance are paramount to delivering on your AI ambitions. And we've built these tools across our entire platform to address these critical requirements for organizations. Quick tip, and there's probably not many of you, but if you haven't yet used generative AI in your organizations, check out our recent announcement on Copilot Chat. We've made that available for all. So that could be a great way to start to AI enable your workforce. So today, we're here to help partner with you, transform your business, create new employee experiences, help reinvent your business processes, help drive better, deeper customer engagement, and really innovate on our Azure platform. You've had the chance this morning to attend some industry-specific breakouts. Next is our keynote from Scott Guthrie. And then this afternoon, or after this morning's session, you'll have an opportunity to engage in other sessions of interest to you. I encourage you to view today as the beginning of your journey with us in a collaborative effort to help you build AI into your organization. In a moment, we'll hear from Scott Guthrie, our Executive Vice President of Cloud and AI at Microsoft. He's going to share some great customer examples that will show you how to embrace the opportunities that come with this evolving technical landscape. Thank you so much for being part of this journey. I hope you have a wonderful day. And with that, Scott.
Well, thanks so much, Karen, and good morning, everyone. It's great to be here in New York at the Microsoft AI Tour. Thank you so much for joining us today. AI is going to profoundly change how we work and how every organization operates. Every existing app is going to be reinvented with AI, and we're going to see new apps being built using AI that weren't possible before. And in my talk today, I'm going to walk through 3 chapters. First, give you a sense of the current moment, how we got here, where we're headed, and how Microsoft is approaching these changes. Second, describe the opportunities that we're seeing emerge across industries and how our customers and partners are using AI to evolve their businesses. And third, talk about our commitments around trustworthy AI and how we're approaching this moment responsibly at Microsoft. I want to start by putting the current landscape in context. Over the past few decades, we've seen some of the most significant platform shifts happen in computing, starting with the internet, which gave us universal access to knowledge, smartphones, which put that knowledge in our hands 24/7, the cloud, which made computing ubiquitous, changing how businesses operated and scaled. And now AI is giving us a set of tools to unleash intelligent productivity in ways that we've never seen before. And we believe that AI breakthroughs to extend our capacity and our capability should keep humans at the center of this design. And that's why we created Copilot as an AI-powered human companion. Copilot is the UI for AI, and it's rapidly becoming an organizing layer for work and how work gets done. At our Ignite conference this past November, we introduced our vision and strategy for Copilot and agents. And we envision ultimately every employee having a Copilot as their trusted AI assistant. Copilots understand you and your work context and provide a consistent user experience to interact with AI. Agents then augment Copilot by adding skills and knowledge to automate tasks in business processes. And importantly, we provide governance and controls for things like data protection, agent management, and the reporting needed to measure business outcomes and ensure that you can secure and manage this across your IT estate. With Copilot, we've built a full AI experience that starts with a chat interface that can get you access to information, whether it's inside your work environment or found on the web. And people are using Copilot to save time and be more productive and creative. Let's take a look at how you can use it to enable, for example, even better Teams meetings and collaborations inside your organizations. Let's watch a video.
Imagine you have an appointment that conflicts with your weekly business review. With Copilot, you can follow a meeting. After it ends, Copilot will summarize what you've missed. You'll get a notification in Teams when the recap is ready. This recap will highlight the content that was shared and summarize notes and action items. You see that one of your customers was discussed. You can ask Copilot clarifying questions, and it provides a detailed response, explaining decisions and offering helpful context. It even provides citations from the transcript, showing where Copilot drew these conclusions. It's a huge time saver. And during live meetings, you can ask Copilot to summarize the meeting so far. It captures who said what and the key points made. As the meeting progresses, you can check in on where people stand and what questions are unresolved. Copilot in Teams is a game changer for staying on top of all your meetings.
With Copilot Studio, we're then providing you with a tool that enables you to extend Copilot. It offers a single place to build AI agents that are tailored for your specific business needs. The agents can work on your behalf and now even run autonomously in the background. So it's easy to reimagine entire business workflows using it. What's nice about Copilot Studio is that it provides more than 1,400 pre-built plugins and connectors that enable you to integrate in a secure way all your data, all your APIs, and all your other third-party services. And what makes Copilot Studio even more powerful is the ability to also leverage Azure capabilities with APIs you expose through Azure, and as well as your apps that you host in Azure as well. Let's watch a demo of Copilot Studio in action and how you can use it to build intelligent agents going forward.
Microsoft Copilot Studio lets you create your own agent experiences and make them available instantly wherever users are across multiple channels. Simply click to create an agent and describe what you want it to support, providing instructions about behavior and point it to a knowledge source such as a website to further infuse it with data. That's it. In just 3 simple steps, your agent is instantly capable of rich, multi-turn conversations. Since Copilot Studio is a full end-to-end SaaS with no infrastructure to deploy or maintain, you can easily publish this to your support site or other channels like Microsoft Teams, so your customers or employees can use it quickly. Or you might want to further infuse your agent with additional knowledge by easily adding a number of different data sources from the Knowledge page, including documents, SharePoint sites, Dataverse, and data from your CRM and ERP systems. With this, your agent is an expert, ready to reason over your enterprise knowledge. You can also easily add actions to empower your agent with the ability to execute various tasks and automation. Copilot Studio comes with thousands of connectors to allow you to connect with your back-end systems to create and leverage custom connectors. That's all you need to build an agent. Just add your knowledge, actions, and topics, and your agent will use generative AI to reason over them and respond to whatever your users may ask. Copilot Studio covers the complete end-to-end lifecycle to build, deploy, and monitor and improve with built-in advanced analytics. Makers can view KPIs like engagement rate and satisfaction score with trend comparisons. You can also view your knowledge source performance, error rates, and customer satisfaction feedback for deeper insights. Copilot Studio can also extend and customize Microsoft Copilots. Microsoft 365 Copilot, Copilot for Sales, and Copilot in Dynamics 365 Customer Service, enabling personalized company-specific use cases with access to back-end systems that Microsoft Copilots don't have existing access to. Copilot Studio gives you the power to take action on your data, backed with the security you've come to expect from Microsoft. Agent building has changed forever, with unlimited ways to build and extend agents and copilots across a myriad of use cases, thanks to Microsoft Copilot Studio. Try it now at aka.ms/trycopilotstudio.
Earlier this month, we introduced Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. Copilot Chat is our new free, secure AI chat assistant powered by GPT-4o. And it's grounded from the data from the web with pay-as-you-go agents. Agents are integrated right into the chat experience on a metered consumption basis, so you only pay for what you actually use. And Copilot Chat comes with IT controls, including enterprise data protection and agent management. Now, organizations in every industry are seeing immediate gains with Copilot that in the past would have taken years to achieve. And we're still in the early innings of AI. And you're going to see us extend Copilot significantly more in the year ahead. And as you look to the future, being able to use AI both in the cloud as well as on your local device is going to be very important. Last year, we introduced a new category of devices, what we call Copilot Plus PCs. These devices are built to deliver unparalleled performance and intelligence. And they integrate an NPU processor locally within the device that enables local processing of AI capabilities. We've seen customers embrace Copilot PCs, recognizing them as the fastest, most intelligent, and secure Windows PCs ever created. And I'm excited to talk about some of the new Copilot PCs for business that we're releasing today. And with that, I'd love to show a video of us talking about it.
I'm thrilled to introduce the all-new Surface Pro and Surface Laptop Copilot Plus PCs for business, now available with the Intel Core Ultra Series 2 processors. These devices represent a significant leap in x86 performance and incredible battery life with greater efficiency and performance per watt. With an NPU at over 40 TOPS, these PCs bring all new AI experiences to life. Running models with local AI compute makes your experience more private, secure, and efficient, even reducing the need for an internet connection. Security is critically important to all of us. That's why these Copilot Plus PCs are secured core PCs built with Windows Hello enhanced sign-in security and the Microsoft Pluton security processor. These new updates are built to protect you from ever-evolving threats to keep you, your employees, and your organization's data safe and secure. It has never been more efficient and effortless to get work done with Windows and Microsoft 365 experiences on Surface, designed for business AI. Video conferencing is a core part of team collaboration, and the new Surface Laptop with Intel Core Ultra has triple the battery life when using Teams than Surface Laptop 5. And it helps you make deeper connections with AI-enabled features, including live captions with live translation, super resolution, and Windows Studio effects. Using advanced premium camera hardware, simply put, Surface Copilot Plus PCs are the best endpoint for Teams users. The Copilot key on Surface devices makes it faster to access Copilot whenever you need it. And later this year, Copilot Plus PCs can help you get even more value from your Microsoft 365 Copilot license. Local rewrite and summarize in Outlook will give you access to real-time private inline AI that supports compliance requirements, unlocking the power of hybrid AI. And to solve the number one problem employees face today, Windows search is now more intelligent on Copilot Plus PCs. Using semantic indexing with local AI compute, employees can just type what they're looking for in their own words to search across both local and OneDrive for Business files. Combine that with the power of recall, we're helping employees find what they're looking for in a way only Microsoft can, saving your company time and money, and even better, it's all manageable by IT. We're focused on making the IT management experience seamless. The Surface Management Portal, integrated into Microsoft Intune, allows IT pros to manage and monitor Surface devices in detail, addressing issues before they escalate. And in just a few weeks, we'll bring Security Copilot into the Surface Management Portal, so IT pros can ask Copilot to generate reports and get the insights they need quickly. Copilot Plus PCs are revolutionizing the PC industry, and now Surface offers the flexibility of silicon partners. Choose ARM, x86, or both, alongside consistent premium design, leading performance, and security. The new Surface Pro and Surface Laptop for Business with Intel Core Ultra Series 2 start shipping in mid-February. You can order Surface Copilot Plus PCs for your organization starting today. Thank you.
So now that we've talked about Copilot and the Copilot Plus PCs, let's now talk about our Copilot and AI Stack, which is the most advanced and powerful way to build AI solutions. It enables you to build custom-tailored AI solutions and expand to support the richest of possible AI scenarios. And at every level, we've optimized for flexibility, performance, and cost. Let's start by talking about our developer tools that make up part of this. The Visual Studio family of products, which include both Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code, are now the most widely used development tools in the world, with over 40 million active developers. And GitHub is now used by more than 150 million developers and is literally the home of open source. GitHub provides enterprises with an integrated AI-powered developer platform that can be used to collaborate, automate, and secure DevOps solutions. GitHub Copilot was the first Copilot solution that we built using transformational large AI models. And it provides an AI pair programmer that works with all popular programming languages and dramatically accelerates developer productivity. Over 70,000 organizations are using GitHub Copilot today to supercharge the productivity of their developers. Shopify, as one example, estimates they accept up to 25,000 lines of code written by GitHub Copilot every single day. And Accenture developers now retain over 88% of the code suggested by GitHub Copilot as part of their solutions. Let's now talk more about Azure AI Foundry, which is another key part of this Copilot stack. Now, the data and AI landscape is really crowded and complex. This sort of eye chart here is just some of the technologies and vendors that exist today. And there's a huge number of options that organizations need to grapple with as they're building AI solutions. And to help organizations simplify and scale their AI workloads, we released our Azure AI Foundry. Azure AI Foundry enables organizations to design, customize, and importantly manage and operate the next generation of AI apps and agents at scale. It's integrated with the most popular developer tools in the world, including obviously GitHub, Visual Studio, and Copilot Studio. And Azure AI Foundry brings together Azure AI models, tooling, safety, and monitoring solutions to help you efficiently and cost-effectively design and scale your AI applications. We really consider this sort of a first-class app server, if you will, for the age of AI. And all of this is integrated inside GitHub. And we're bringing the power of Azure AI Foundry directly to developers using the tools and the code that they live in every single day. And what I'm going to do now is show an end-to-end video of this sort of AI developer tool chain, integrating Azure AI Foundry and GitHub together, and show you kind of the power of what they can do.
We've put our models directly where 100 million developers live, in GitHub. Let's have a look. Developers can explore a library of the most recent and popular AI models. Every model is unique in its capabilities, performance, and cost. You can click into the model cards to see what each model specializes in. Mistral's new Mini-Stral model offers low latency, for example, while GPT-4o is currently the most powerful and widely used multimodal model. You can now test drive these models for free with the interactive playground and try out your prompts before you spend a dime in production. Let's check it out by taking another of the latest models from OpenAI, GPT-4o Mini. You can just upload a photo and see how the model will respond. You can even compare one model to another with this compare button. Say you're building a multimodal app using text and vision. At no cost, you can easily compare GPT-4o Mini with Meta's new Llama 3.2 vision model to help you decide which one's better for your use case. But for any real application, the model alone is not enough. It needs your data. That's where RAG comes in. Now, for the first time, you can ground a model to your data right here in GitHub just by clicking the Upload Files button. Then you can compare the grounded model to the ungrounded one to see how adding data will improve your app's ROI. When the model's answers are in line with your business goals, you can just click the Code button and get the code right here in GitHub. Copy it into VS Code, and with your GitHub credentials, you can run it straight away. The key to success with your AI app is choosing the right model and the right prompts to serve your users. Until now, you could only evaluate those variants pre-production, but now, for the first time, we're offering model experimentation in GitHub Copilot, which lets you run live prompt and model experiments on apps in production to improve your business outcomes. Here, Copilot's made a thumbs up and thumbs down button, and it's stubbed out a few variants, which can be different prompts or even entirely different models. You can assign each variant to percentages of your user population. When users use the app, they'll get one of these prompt variants, and the results will be recorded right in GitHub. Now you can see how the variants stack up to each other on metrics like the number of chat users, the cost to run each variant, how long it took each variant to respond, safety and error rate of each variant, and direct user feedback. With model experimentation, you can make a data-driven decision on how to best serve your users. Once you've tested your app in GitHub and are ready to scale, you can get a production key, and that brings you to the Azure AI Foundry. The Azure AI Foundry is an AI portal for developers made to bring apps like this into production. Here, you can continue to work with models and prompts. You can customize models for your business with fine-tuning. You can build and test AI agents, and you can provide your agents knowledge from sources like Bing Web Search, unstructured data in Azure AI Search, or structured data in a Fabric Lakehouse. And you can create agents that take actions with Azure Functions and Azure Logic apps. And you can evaluate your AI application to ensure it's behaving in a responsible and trustworthy manner. Finally, you can experiment with the new real-time models in Azure AI Foundry.
You sure can.
So what do you think of Azure AI Foundry?
Haha, Azure AI Foundry is the tool to deploy your AI applications at scale.
You said it, GPT.
Got to integrate a little humor into the demos. And one of the things that a lot of people have asked me this week has been like, hey, DeepSeek, what do you think about that? Obviously, that's top of mind for a lot of people. One thing I can share is, as of this morning, DeepSeek is now available both in Azure AI Foundry as well as in GitHub Models. So next time you see that video, you'll see that included in that model gallery. So now that we've covered a little bit about Azure AI Foundry, let's talk about our data platform. All of the AI innovation that you've seen so far is built on a foundation of data. Data really is the fuel that powers AI. And the Microsoft Intelligent Data Platform is an integrated suite of Azure data and analytics services that are designed to help organizations manage and utilize their data effectively. And the platform supports a range of different development options, including infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and fully managed SaaS environments. And integration with Azure AI Foundry facilitates the development and deployment of AI applications. And with Microsoft Purview, we provide data governance and compliance, ensuring consistent management across the entire data estate. And we're investing in data innovation across this platform. One of the biggest innovation areas over the last year has been with our data analytics platform called Microsoft Fabric. Fabric gives you everything you need to go from raw data to AI or BI value in a single integrated SaaS platform. It provides a unified business model that dramatically accelerates both time to value and helps your organizations save tremendously on costs. And Fabric enables you to integrate and work with data regardless of where it's produced or stored. It even allows you to seamlessly work with data stored in Snowflake or Databricks, AWS, GCP, Salesforce. And let's watch maybe a video of this in action, showing the magic and power of Fabric.
My company, Contoso Wireless, is using Microsoft Fabric to unify our entire data estate so we can build a new generation of AI apps. And like most companies, Contoso Wireless has data everywhere. Fortunately, Fabric makes it easy to bring it all together. For example, our customer loyalty data is in Snowflake, Azure Databricks has the sales data, Dataverse has the customer support systems, Cosmos DB has the retail order tracking, and we can get our product inventory and catalog from Amazon S3 buckets. And not only that, we have streaming data for product deliveries we need to integrate as well. Let me show you how easy Fabric makes it for us to access all of these sources in a single unified lakehouse that is always up to date and in sync with the underlying systems. Let's create a new lakehouse, which is automatically provisioned and ready to use in seconds, and it's where we'll unify our data. Developing solutions in Fabric is easy, and it lets me work with any kind of data. Let's start by creating some shortcuts. Shortcuts let me access data through Fabric, but connect it directly to the underlying systems, so we're not actually copying the data. I just select the source and pick the data I want, and instantly it's available to use. And Fabric goes even further in letting us unify every type of data. It has a complete workload for real-time intelligence built in. This makes it easy to integrate real-time data with built-in support for a wide range of sources across Azure Event Hub, Azure IoT Hub, Amazon Kinesis, Confluent, and more. And in the Real-Time Hub, we've unified all of our organization's real-time feeds, making it easy to build on what we've already created. In this case, we've already set up a stream for shipment delivery notifications coming from Apache Kafka. If I open up the stream, with just a few clicks, I can configure it so it'll also send data to our lakehouse so we can integrate the data there as well. Switching back to the lakehouse, between our shortcuts, mirroring, and real-time feed, now we have data from 6 different clouds all easily integrated without any complex ETL or unneeded duplication of data. And we've brought in more than just tables of data. Here you can see we've also created shortcuts to text documentation files and images from our product catalog so we can integrate them into our AI apps as well. And now that we've unified all of our different data, I can use the SQL endpoint for the lakehouse to write a single SQL query that runs across all 6 of the different sources, without me having to know or care that it's a mix of data sitting in AWS, mirrored from Cosmos DB, or being fed from a real-time stream. Every Fabric workload can now operate on the same one copy of our data. And since Fabric supports all of our data workloads end-to-end, we can use it to deliver the entire data layer for our AI applications. If I switch to one of my project workspaces, you can see a task flow diagram for the full solution end-to-end, all built in Fabric. In this example, Fabric is powering the data layer for one of our OLTP apps. This includes everything from data integration, to AI models for enriching data, to real-time eventing, and even invoice generation and reporting. And now, this also includes a fully featured SQL database from the new Databases workload in Fabric. Our SQL database in Fabric is not only integrated seamlessly with all of these other workloads, but is also self-optimizing with auto-tuning built in. Best of all, across all of these workloads, including databases, we have Copilot built in to help me work even faster, so now writing SQL is easier than ever. And most importantly, Fabric has full source control integrated with Azure DevOps and GitHub, so my organization can build, deploy, and manage everything in Fabric within our existing development processes across the board. As you've seen, Fabric is a game changer for both making it simple to unify all of our organization's data, and with every data workload integrated, providing a complete data platform for all of our AI-powered applications.
So now that we've covered some of the capabilities of our Azure data platform, let's talk about the infrastructure that's powering all this, which is Microsoft Azure. We're invested heavily over many years to make Azure the place to do cutting-edge AI innovation. And we're taking a systems approach, optimizing everything from the network to the AI silicon accelerators to meet the demand for efficient, scalable, and sustainable AI so that organizations can take advantage of the latest cloud and AI breakthroughs. And it starts with our data center footprint. We have more than 60 plus regions around the world, which are made up of over 300 individual data centers, more than any other cloud provider. And we're bringing all of this scale and power to you. So now we walked through kind of all the different components. Let's actually step back and see how all this technology comes together in a real world demo. And what I'd like to do is now invite my colleague, Seth Juarez, to help demonstrate what's possible when you develop with the Copilot and AI Stack and build a completely custom AI solution with it. Here's Seth.
I'm so excited to be here. I don't know if you know this, but I actually graduated from PS 94 in Brooklyn, New York. Yes, so it's like coming home. And I also graduated from IS 27 on Staten Island. There's the one guy. I knew there would be one guy. There's the one guy that's like, oh, Staten Island. I never imagined when I was sitting in Mrs. Wagardner's class in 5th grade in PS 94 how technology was going to revolutionize the way we actually do stuff. I was pre-internet. And now we're all the way here with AI. And I wanted to show you an experience that highlights how AI is going to change these experiences today, not like next week and not some ethereal future. So this is the Contoso Outdoor Company. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to it here. So I've connected to the server. And I am going to, I don't know if you know this, but I'm not an outdoors person. So I'm going to ask it, hey, how do I camp out on this? And by the way, the reason why I have this right-hand side open is so that you can see this is actually happening for realsies. Like they would never let me do this kind of illustration in a video like this, right? And so you can see this happening for real. And what I've done is I put a picture in there and I've asked it about the picture and it knows about me. And this was very surprising about this time last year. Do you remember? Everyone's looking at this now like, yeah, we saw that last year. But notice it's able to look at the picture and it's able to tell me about stuff that, about me. So what if we can up the ante a little bit and make the experience even more personal? So I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, can someone give me a call to walk me through this?
Hello, Seth. Great to talk to you. I saw your question about camping in snowy conditions. Let's get you geared up for a comfortable and safe winter camping trip. How can I assist you today?
Well, I'm not a very good outdoors person. I'm worried I'm going to freeze. What do you recommend?
Don't worry, Seth. I've got you covered. For warmth in snowy conditions, I'd recommend the Mountain Dream sleeping bag.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but is there any way for you to, sorry to interrupt you, is there any way for you to show this to me visually?
Sure thing, Seth. I'll prepare a visual guide with these recommendations. It might take a moment, but I'll let you know when it's ready. In the meantime, if you have any other questions or need more tips, feel free to ask. Fantastic. You can now check out the visual guide with the recommended products for a warm and comfortable snowy camping trip. If you need further details or have more questions about these items, just let me know. I'm here to help.
どうもありがとうございます。
どういたしまして、セツさん。何か他に質問があれば、いつでもお手伝いしますので、お気軽にどうぞ。
Okay, now it's showing up. I'm going to turn it off. How cool is that? Yeah. And it was a real thing. You could see all of the posts and the things coming back and forth. This is an experience that you can actually build today. And the reason why it's so differentiable from everything else is that it feels more personal. It knew about me. It knew about what I needed. It looked at stuff that I had already put in the chat, and it was able to respond in a language that I like. Japanese is really cool, right? And the thing about this is that these are things that you can do today. And I'm going to show you 3 things that enable this. The first is access to models. The second is developer tools. And the last is developing these things safely so that you can be guaranteed or you can have assurances that these things are going to work. Let's start with models. You know, models come out all the time. There's so many models all over the place, and we never know when the new ones are going to come out or where they're going to be, right? But we want to make sure that you have access to the latest models as soon as they're safe for you to use, and we put our enterprise guardrails around them. We have over 1,800 models. Yesterday, it was 1,826. Right? And that's the cool bit, is that we are going to bring this to you in an enterprise scalable and safe way because we want you to have access to all of the models. The second thing I want to talk about is developer tools. And I'm going to take a little break here because we talk about AI in terms of like, it's going to revolutionize and it's going to be really cool. But if you're a dev, you're like, what does that mean? What am I coding? And we hear about this agentic systems or agentic agents, or let me talk about something called the agentic programming model. The agentic programming model is where you allow LLMs to help you decide control flow in a program. That's it. I want to say it again, because it's actually as simple as that. The agentic programming model is where you allow the LLM to decide program control flow. There's 3 ways you can do it. You can have it return a string, like yes or no. I did that in this demo. When I'm asking for a write-up, there's an LLM that's like, yes, he asked for it. No, he didn't. That's as simple. The second way is you can have it return objects that you can do decision on. And the most powerful way is function or tool calling. And that's so enshrined in the way that we do things, at least with Azure AI Foundry, that we give you those toolings directly inside of Azure AI Foundry, where you can build your own agents with their prompts, and you can even tie knowledge, et cetera. You saw that earlier with Marco. And so now this programming model of having LLMs decide control flow and pick stuff and do stuff for you, you can do. But we want to do it safely. We want to make sure that at the boundaries of the LLM decisions that you're able to know what actually is going on. And so we've exposed inside of Azure AI Foundry a way to do evaluations, to evaluate offline your prompts as you're making them to make sure they're, for example, grounded. Let me tell you about groundedness. Groundedness is a measure of how grounded the responses are in the context that you've fetched. Because after all, LLMs are like giant Mad Libs where you leave the blank at the end. And you have to put the right thing at the beginning, and you want to make sure that the response matches what you've put in there. But when you're actually doing this live in production, you want to also make sure that it's doing the right thing. So we're adding tracing tools for you to be able to see how decisions are being made at the boundary. You can audit them, you can change things, you can fix things, you can have users do thumbs up, thumbs down, so you can go back and reevaluate the things you're doing. And that's it. Notice I've showed you a really cool experience. I've talked about developer tools. I've also talked about the availability of models. And finally, I showed you how to do it safely. And that, my friends, is Azure AI Foundry. Back to you, Scott.
Thanks, Seth. So you just saw how AI can transform an ordinary business process into experiences that are much more engaging and personable using Azure AI Foundry and the Copilot and AI Stack. And customer adoption of Azure AI Foundry is accelerating. We now have more than 60,000 companies around the globe that are achieving real business impact using it. This slide here just shows a couple examples of them. And I know for many of you, the question isn't just what can AI do? The most important question often for a business is what can AI do for my business? We see 4 macro trends emerging across the business landscape. And I thought it might be useful to highlight stories across each of these categories where organizations have been successful in leveraging AI to really drive business outcomes. Let's start with employee productivity and well-being. AI can help automate mundane tasks, streamline communications, and increase access to knowledge bases. Telecommunications company Lumen is using GitHub Copilot to provide its developers with real-time code suggestions, accelerating onboarding to new and unfamiliar scripting languages, and resolve issues much faster. Lumen says GitHub Copilot has reduced the cycle time of projects by an average of 20 to 30%. Let's take a look.
At Lumen, we're connecting people, data, and applications, making sure that everybody has the right information at their fingertips exactly when they need it.
We provide high-speed internet services to small businesses, enterprises, as well as consumers. My team of developers essentially works on systems that take care of our customers' orders. Lumen has always prided itself in making sure that all resources are available to their developers, but there can be a learning curve required to learn new technologies and applications.
From a developer's lens, the biggest challenge was how do you quickly understand the domain we're working on, pick up these newer technologies, and focus on providing safe, secure, and reliable code for our customers and get through more projects faster.
Lumen joined with Microsoft using GitHub Copilot because we wanted our developers to gain mastery over new solutions quickly.
I use GitHub Copilot for everything I do. You can ask Copilot, hey, can you make this code more efficient, faster? Can you improve this code? I've seen it providing very unique ways of doing things that I wouldn't have thought about, being an avid coder myself.
Using GitHub Copilot and Visual Studio, we are gaining efficiency, flexibility, and security in getting to our ultimate goal, delivering great code faster than ever before.
GitHub Copilot offers us a range of coding solutions that can be applied quickly, turning half-day issues into one-hour fixes. We've seen a 20 to 30% reduction in development time, and sometimes hours and hours of research time that they've saved up on.
The learning curve has flattened. It's great for dev teams to learn newer technologies faster, and it's great for new hires. They can contribute to the team faster.
GitHub Copilot's definitely helping us advance our ability to create better ways to help our customers connect with the people, the data, the resources. This is what makes a real difference in their lives.
We're also seeing AI reshape how businesses engage with their entire customer base and respond to the constantly evolving customer landscape. ASOS is a retailer based in the UK, and they're looking to use technology to meet the modern expectations of their consumer customer base. And with the Azure OpenAI service, they built a natural language experience that customers can interact with as soon as they arrive on the ASOS website or mobile app. And the experience provides curated suggestions based on both the customer's purchase history and a deep knowledge of the latest fashion trends. At the same time, the application can simultaneously look up and access store inventory data to ensure that the customer experience with ASOS is seamless, all while representing the customer's brand voice. And while I focused on retail, these same capabilities are available to deepen customer relationships across fintech, professional services, healthcare, and more industries. Now, the third macro trend is really around business processes. And within the next 5 years, we expect over 41% of business leaders now expect actually, in fact, to redesign the business processes from the ground up inside their organizations using AI. BlackRock's technology platform, Aladdin, is pivotal for investors. BlackRock has now completed its migration of Aladdin to Microsoft Azure, so it's now running entirely in the cloud. And the shift to Azure has been a profound unlock for the firm, and it's really allowed them to work much more efficiently and to get to new markets around the world much, much faster. New rollouts of capabilities and features that used to take weeks, or used to take quarters, now can be done in weeks. And with this foundation, BlackRock is reshaping business processes with AI workflows tailored for different functions within the business. Now, the last and final opportunity is about the opportunity to drive innovation and discovery at a speed and scale that wasn't possible before. Montefiore Health System here in New York, with primary care locations in the Bronx and Hudson Valley, is using AI to help solve some of the most pressing challenges in healthcare, such as reducing the time spent on documentation and administrative burden, and helping improve the patient experience, as well as reduce burnout for physicians and healthcare providers. And the one way they're doing this is by integrating our DAX Copilot for Microsoft, which is a secure ambient voice AI solution for healthcare. And since their initial rollout just a few months ago in November of 2024, Montefiore has made significant strides in addressing the rising administrative workload and burnout across their physicians. Initially deployed to approximately 150 primary care doctors, Montefiore now plans to use DAX Copilot across all of their primary care and specialty units later this year. Now, to kind of put this in perspective, if you're not a physician, chances are you've been a patient at some point and you've gone to visit a doctor. And if you're like me, sometimes when you go visit a doctor, you found that the doctor, instead of focusing on me or you, is actually focusing on their laptop, where they're furiously sometimes having to take notes to document the visit. And that's because that's ultimately how the physician and the healthcare system gets paid. It isn't a great patient experience, and physicians hate having to do this sort of documentation burden as well. And now with DAX Copilot, the physician can instead just ask for the patient's consent to record the meeting and launch the DAX Copilot app using their cell phone. Then the physician can actually focus on the patient and have a real doctor-patient conversation. And at the end of the appointment, the DAX Copilot will automatically summarize the patient engagement. And it doesn't just provide a transcript, it actually summarizes the conversation into clinical documentation that the physician can then quickly review, make any changes they want to, and then submit. And it's automatically stored in the electronic medical record instance. Let's take a look at DAX Copilot in action and kind of the transformative experience it's having in terms of productivity, patient satisfaction, and physician burnout.
DAX Copilot is your AI assistant for automated clinical documentation and workflows. This addition to the Dragon family relieves administrative burdens to increase clinician satisfaction, improve patient experiences, boost operational efficiencies, and achieve financial outcomes across specialties. Part of Microsoft Cloud for Healthcare, this industry-first solution combines proven conversational and ambient AI with the most capable generative AI. Using a secure app or supported EHR mobile app, DAX Copilot captures the complete patient story and converts multi-party conversations into structured, specialty-specific clinical summaries that are immediately available for review and editing. Clinicians can view and access all available clinical summaries in the app or directly in the EHR. Beyond notes, DAX Copilot's advanced AI capabilities enable clinicians to save time performing everyday tasks to customize and summarize content and transform it into multiple outputs. As part of the Microsoft Cloud, DAX is delivered through a trusted, reliable infrastructure and global platform, guided by an established, responsible AI framework and core set of principles. It's secure, flexible, and scalable, and the results speak for themselves. Better work-life balance, higher job satisfaction, greater documentation quality, and more focused, personable, and conversational patient visits. More capable, more comprehensive, more than AI notes.
So we walked through the three platforms that we're delivering at Microsoft to help you create AI solutions and the four key areas for AI transformation. What I'd like to do now is invite one of our customers to the stage to talk about the work that they're doing and share some of the lessons they've learned along this journey. BNY is America's oldest bank and is driving innovation at the intersection of technology and financial services. And they're harnessing solutions like GitHub Copilot, Microsoft 365 Copilot, Dynamics 365, and more to transform the client experience, the employee experience, and their company culture. Please welcome to the stage the CIO and Global Head of Engineering at BNY, Leigh-Ann Russell.
Morning. Good morning, everyone.
Thanks, Leigh-Ann. So great to have you here.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
So BNY has been an early adopter of AI and swift to incorporate cloud AI solutions into your product set and services. Maybe you could start off by talking about your approach, because it's really unique and really special.
Thank you. Absolutely. At BNY, we see AI as a massive catalyst for transformation. Just like the mobile technology or the internet is absolutely core to our mission and our strategy. And therefore, I'd like to introduce Eliza, who is our enterprise AI platform. We built Eliza to harness AI's full potential. So a quick bit of background for those of you that love history or indeed musicals. BNY is 240 years old, and it was founded by Alexander Hamilton of Founding Father fame or Broadway musical, and renamed Eliza after his wife. We oversee $52 trillion of assets for our clients, moving it, managing it, and keeping it safe. Eliza is built on scalable and secure foundations and harnesses responsible AI guardrails, which includes ethical, transparent, and explainable uses of AI. Eliza is built on advanced large language models, including GPT-4, hosted on Microsoft Azure. We started Eliza from our AI Hub in 2023, a small, high-performing, multidisciplinary team who is responsible for looking at some of the most complex but also consequential problems for our bank. Of the hundreds of use cases our innovative employees bring forward to us, we now have over 40 production AI solution cases. And if I turn to what we do with Microsoft, we introduced GitHub Copilot last year, and we now have over 80% of our employees and devs who rely on GitHub Copilot daily.
Now, the breadth of the AI solutions you're investing in is sort of just incredibly impressive. I mean, I love Eliza and everything you're doing. Can you share more about the impact that this is driving also now from a business results perspective across your organization and for your clients?
Absolutely. I mean, everything that we're doing on AI is about tangible outcomes. We have a really clear framework for how we take use cases into production. So at BNY, we have 3 strategic pillars. First of all, run our company better, be more for our clients, and power our culture. And AI has a real role to play in each of these strategic pillars. And I'll give you some examples. First of all, if I take run our company better, let's look at AI through process excellence. Because AI really can improve operating leverage. If we look at basic automation through fully autonomous operations, AI is really improving everything that we do. So let's take an example from one of our biggest businesses, in security services. Here we're using Eliza for anomaly detection. So managing trillions of dollars of fund assets takes real precision. So our Eliza AI agent here looks at identifying proxies for each fund. This means we can see anomalies early, but also helps us manage the amount of false positives the operations teams used to receive. So we're really enhancing both risk management and operational efficiency. Then if I go to the second pillar, being more for our clients, I would say a great example here and how we're providing actionable insights for our clients is in our predictive trade analytics. So we are using our Eliza solution here to offer near real-time trade settlement insights, which enables our client to identify settlement risks early and make sure that we mitigate any late settlements. Then if I go to the final pillar, which is my favorite, which is empowering our people. Each of our 50,000 employees at BNY can access an Eliza virtual agent. 22,000 are fully trained on Eliza and are using generative AI capabilities daily. And 15% of those are so advanced, they're actually generating their own agents. Now, if I turn again to what we're doing with you, we are really seeing the velocity of code commit improving using GitHub Copilot. And we've got 18,000 licenses for Copilot 365 that we're rolling out to our organization using the same ethical guardrails on which we built Eliza. In fact, we're working really closely with Microsoft, providing some feedback, looking at new features that will not only benefit us, but the entire financial services industry. So I think the most important message that I would take away from this is that AI is just not for engineers. It's for each and every one of us, enabling us to be a little bit more productive each and every day.
That's awesome. And the work that you're doing at BNY is truly world-class, and we're really honored to be strategic partners. And maybe, as we close out our conversation, can you maybe share some of the lessons learned along the journey?
Yeah, absolutely. Technology only really harnesses its power when we look at how people use it, and I would say our strategic collaboration with you has been really instrumental. If you look at our data and analytics business, which has over 50 trillion in financial data, you have really helped us scale up on Azure. This platform is infused with AI, and it provides some of the world's largest investors to secure access to deep and differential insights on their platform. And now we're going to market together, bringing the best of our commercial teams to take this platform globally. I would say for us, 2024 was really about building blocks, building the AI hub, launching our firm-wide upskilling program to really drive AI adoption, and partnering to deliver the first wave of AI solutions into production. But despite being really proud of having 40 production cases, we are really just getting started. it's absolutely no doubt that AI is going to change the landscape in financial services. And if you really adopt it at your core, as we're doing, if you really think about how you can build it into your operation cycle, then I think the key is to not just stay ahead of the wave of transformation, but really actively shape it. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to share our journey, and to you and Microsoft for supporting us as we move forward together.
Thank you so much, Leigh-Ann.
Thank you, Scott.
Now, to close us out today, I'm going to talk about, of all the scenarios and opportunities, none of this would have been possible without trust. And I want to step back and talk about the commitments that are foundational to everything that we do at Microsoft. Trust requires consistency over time, and we take a two-pronged approach to trust at Microsoft. First, the commitments that we make, and second, the capabilities that we build to make good on those commitments. And that's why we've invested so heavily in helping customers use and build AI that's trustworthy, meaning AI that's secure, safe, and private. And our commitments and capabilities go hand in hand to make sure that our customers and developers are protected at every layer. And just to highlight some of these recent capabilities that we've launched that build on top of this, this includes, for example, developments in confidential computing, which we now support in Azure across VMs and AI. Real-time hallucination correction with Azure AI. New evaluations in Azure AI Studio to help assess the quality of outputs and ensure that they're safe, responsible, and aren't hallucinating. And more broadly, Azure and Microsoft and the Microsoft Cloud is really the trusted AI platform that companies and organizations can depend on to run their business. And so everything that we've talked about today is no longer about AI as something that's going to happen in the future, but an opportunity that you can leverage now. And again, Leigh-Ann and BNY are great examples of the massive impact and the massive opportunity to apply this technology today. And I hope that whatever your industry, your role, or your function, you leave today with a sense of what's already possible and what it might mean for your business as well. The possibilities are truly limitless, and we know this is only the beginning. And we're excited to see what you do at this moment, and excited by the opportunity to work with you as part of it. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the event.
Early cancer detection is critical to improving treatment outcomes and increasing patient survival.
Ontada, a McKesson company, is providing innovative technologies at the point of care.
Manually dealing with unstructured healthcare documents is time-consuming and error-prone, but are where important insights can sit.
Azure OpenAI Service Batch API was the solution. And through this partnership, we're able to reduce our processing time by 75%.
We have implemented the latest GPT models to target nearly 100 critical oncology data elements across 39 cancer types.
This allows healthcare providers to identify key cancer attributes like tumor site, comorbidities, and clinical stage.
Azure AI opens up computing power and transforms an estimated 70% of previously unanalyzed, unstructured data.
Our strategic partnership with Microsoft allows us to advance AI-driven oncology research and drug development.
We have access to richer data at much faster speeds, which allows our life science partners to obtain meaningful insights much more quickly, driving treatment adoption and positively impacting the lives of cancer patients.